daily candle is opened. Yes, it's pushed up slightly, but that's an insignificant wick to the upside. We've now started pulling back to create the liquidity wick on the current daily candle. Now, if you look at where we're trading at around 160, which is a flat side. If we also map the critical zone out here on the daily, you'll see that we've got our critical support, which sits over there, right? So we've got that critical support with our critical high. So that there is our tradable range, bound between 160, and we'll just push that up to the flat side of 161. Okay, so that there is our tradable range. We're looking at about 100 pips. Now, looking at the current daily candle, there is obviously room for this candle to flip bullish, fill the wick, and push into that flat side of 161. The only reservation I have at this point is this level over here. Okay, that is also a critical level. Now, you would have seen if we drop down, when we drop down to the lower time frames, price pushed through that level and just surged right from Asian session yesterday. We have not revisited that level on the higher time frame. Now, we do not have to pull back into that level, but the chances are there. So we need to wait for price to tell us what it is going to do. So looking at the 4 hour now, we've obviously established what we've established on the daily, looking at the bias and the momentum or direction. This is that level I spoke about, okay, which we could see price revisit. This here is our critical daily support, right? And that there is the flat side of 161. Now, looking at this, we've got a period of consolidation over here, okay? Now, with that being said, we've obviously created an Asian low that sits within this critical support. So there are one of 3 potential plays that could surface here. The first play is buying off of the higher time frame retest, okay? Now, obviously, price to get below that support, we'll then potentially see price pull back into this untested level of 159. Now, the only problem with selling that is we are trading against momentum, okay? Number one. Number two, when we've had such a strong surge in price, price does not necessarily have to revisit the most recent structural break immediately, right? So with this momentum, how far will we actually pull back, okay? So selling the break of that support is very, very aggressive. You're trading against momentum. So if price happens to get below this support, I will wait for it to trade down into that zone. Once we retest this level, we can start looking at buys, okay? So that is the first potential play. Second potential play, given that this is a critical daily zone, we could see price get below the level to potentially fake out, to get back above the Asian low, to then shift the intraday momentum and send us bullish. So that is what we could look at, potential fake out to the downside to get back above into the consolidation range to then continue bullish. This move higher will obviously correlate to price creating the top side to the current daily candle to give us that momentum push. That's the second potential play. The third potential play is if we happen to get above that zone over there. We can then start looking at price filling that wick and trading into the next flat cycle of 161. So that is what we could potentially look at. Those are the 3 potential plays we could see here on EJ. It's just a matter